The Navigator is an ingenious link between the subledgers and the general ledger. So what I'm going to do to demonstrate that is to come into here, View Vendor Invoices. My cheat sheet, I think I wanted vendor number 50. Let's come down to 50. And it was voucher number 1878. There we go. So if we look at this particular transaction, in vendor history, the vendor history is showing us that there was an invoice that was issued for the 1259, and it came from the point of sale system. We can now, with the graphical, and this is only available with the graphical, we can click on the button here, and we can actually get the distributions for this transaction. So down here we have the invoice and the payment, and here we can see here's the credit to accounts payable and the debit to the expense account, and then here's the payment cycle where we accepted cash of 1221 and put it to our account 1000 cash account. We posted 1259 to offset the accounts payable, and then because there was a difference, we accepted 38 cents as part of the discount. So this is the first advance, and we're not even into the general ledger. We're actually being able to see our distribution history right off of our vendor history file. But as they say with the Mattel commercials, there's more. If we, let me go into a different copy of PBS. I have that here. Let's go down to View Accounts. Now what I want to do is I want to look at, let me get this out of the way. I want to look at, this is July the 15th, and if I look at the distribution history, let's look at 5030. 50/30/100 from distribution date July the 22nd. So fiscal 2010 and 50/30. So oh, by the way, one of the neat features of the lookup is as long as the lookup has the has been highlighted, I can just start typing in here and it'll go to the closest match that I automatically have. So that's pretty nice. It'll jump through this stuff. So here we're down to 50/30/100, and I want to find my 720. There it is. There's my transaction. For, my posting journal was AP 4147. I come back here, AP 4147. Yes, I've got the right guy. So coming back to this transaction, notice at the bottom here I have two buttons. Now, as long as you've posted transactions within version 12, the program will automatically create those linkages during the transaction. And so here, in this case, if I click this button, I'm now looking at the vendor history record from the general ledger. I'm looking at the vendor history record that generated those transactions. So for research purposes, this is fabulous. I can be looking at the general ledger and look back into my general ledger based on simply picking off transactions. But then in addition to this, since this is only one part of a transaction, I know this is basically the debit to my purchases parts. If I want to see the whole transaction, I've now got another button here, View Related Distributions. And so now I'm looking at essentially the same thing as I was looking at before here with my distributions. And you can see here I've got my credit AP, debit expense, and then my credit cash, debit AP, and credit the discount account. So I'm now looking at the whole transaction set that was involved with that particular transaction. Now that's pretty cool stuff when it comes to tracking what you need to know about how a transaction worked, where it came from, what the dates were, and so on and so forth. And so this is very, very useful stuff from both the general ledger point of view as well as from doing research in the accounts payable, for example.